Okay, and we should be live. Hi, guys, and welcome to this fitness actually stream that is long overdue with my dear buddy Diego here. We did similar thing before on my fitness channel, but it was long ago, and as you know, all those monetization problems happen on YouTube, so everything's going to be on this channel. So let me just tune in to the stream itself, and we can continue with the topic. So, hi, Diego.
Hi, Getty. Glad to be back again. It's been a while, long overdue. So, yeah, glad to be back.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I wanted to do this for so freaking long that it's unbelievable. Now I'm going to watch the chat directly where the video streams. So if there's any other questions besides those that Diego is going to ask me, just let me know in the chat box. I'm going to watch that constantly. So first, I actually want to say that, I work out for very seriously for almost 2 years now. So that is something. And of course, the diet and everything. We're going to discuss whatever is possible today. But let's start with Diego's questions, of course. So, Diego, let me know.
All right. Yeah. So, I've had a question for the longest time, to ask you, and it's basically about the full body workouts because I've heard and I read, some people have their own opinions, their own thoughts about like the full body workout versus like basically, splitting uh like the workouts, I guess, with each, like maybe one day, someone works on their upper body, the next day, like, core or whatever. What are your thoughts? Like, what would you say is the like pros and cons, I guess, of one versus the other, like the full body versus the split type of
Mhm.
workouts?
Yeah, well, to me, everything depends. You can build muscle with both split and full body, of course. But to me, I just choose full body because I see it as kind of unnatural to split the body parts. And, some people just that are in favor of split, they say like, well, you're gonna spend too much time training full body, but to me it's not really that, it's not a problem. I still train hour and a half or two depending on how much workout I want to do for the week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always try to hit a particular hour, something like that. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
too busy, I'm still trying to get the workout in, no matter if it's too long or too short. But I mostly always try to get all the muscle groups, the legs, uh, the stomach, the chest, the arms, the back, everything. I'm hitting everything. So I just feel it is more natural, and I don't want, to skip too many days because,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people, when they hit chest, let's say, and arms and the back, they do that
Right.
after 3 more days or even next week. I mean, it depends on the split itself. Some people, if they hit just the arms in one day, the legs in the other day, and the back in the third day, by
Mm-hmm.
the time they hit the arms again, a lot of days have passed by, and the muscle protein synthesis is 48 hours. So you should not skip that many days
Mm-hmm.
actually. And another thing that's very important, and science has proven it, there's a lot of research about this, is that even if you're sore, if you have muscle soreness, you don't have to wait for that to dissipate in order to work out again, because muscle protein synthesis can be already uh, you know can be already in motion
Mm-hmm.
um, before that muscle soreness disappears. So you're missing out on some gains, so to speak. And I mean, when I have muscle soreness, when I work out, I even kind of, you can say, I make that disappear with working out, which could not make sense to some people, but it actually works. If it's like too severe, maybe I'm gonna rest a day, but then it's just no problem. I just continue from there, and everything just falls into place. So I'm not very much for too much rest, because you are what you do most of the time.
Oh, okay, I see. See, I've been guilty of the whole when I feel sore, like let's say my arms feel super sore or my legs. I hate working out. My legs always are like, I don't know. That's my least favorite body group, by the way. But and then I feel, like when it's so sore, I'm like, I used to be like, okay, it's sore. I need to let it kind of go away first on its own, and then I start hitting it again. But now that's good to know. That's good to know that it's best to not let it, go too far, and then you can still work out the body group or whatever, and it'll go out. I've heard someone say that too, that it actually begins to kind of, the soreness starts to go away if you start to work it out again, and that's
Yeah.
good to know. That's interesting. And for anybody else that didn't, that doesn't know that, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's not a
definitely,
common knowledge, I think, because everybody thinks that they have to just get rid of that soreness of that pain, but
yeah,
it actually gets worse if you rest too much. Just, when you
yeah.
get up, when you have, muscle soreness on your legs, and when you get up, you feel that much more. At least that's from my experience, which is a lot of years before I started working out with the heavy weights and everything. I still worked out before that a lot, so I have a lot of years of experience of from working out, so I can
Mhm.
testify to that. That every time I fix my soreness with more working out. Yeah,
Yes, and the one thing I want to point out, you said that no matter how busy you are, you still try and squeeze in whatever, work and, workout hours that you can. That's true. I've noticed that about you. Actually, even if it's 30 minutes, right? Or
yeah,
20 minutes, whatever, but
yeah.
I do know that about you. Yeah, you try and do your best to squeeze in those hours, even if it's not normally what would you say you try to go for? Is it like your ideal time? If you could every time, would it be like an hour, or what would you aim for if you could? Is that like a good time, like an hour?
Yeah, it's mostly hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Because there are so many exercises that I do these days. I train, with the gymnastic rings now on
Oh
my
yeah.
extreme gym. So I do push-ups, pull-ups. I do those also with the gymnastic rings. I bench press, I squat with the bar, 40 kilos. That's like 80 pounds or something.
Okay.
Uh, and so I do too many things just because I want to hit the muscle from a lot of angles. I'm, doing the resistant band. So when I'm doing, the whole hour and 40 minutes, let's say, I'm trying to do everything. And when I do a short one, I'm doing things that I do more rarely, you can say, or just try to use the bands because they give you a different kind of a stress on the muscle. It's very interesting. I know when
Mhm.
you pull the band, because it's stretching, it kind of requires a different kind of not only motion exactly, but the stretching of the muscle and the stretching of the bands. It's kind of related in terms of stress and effect and how the muscle is activated to to live that. So I just try to switch things, mix them up a bit, and I always do, exercises in different order. Never in
Mhm.
the same order, just whatever I feel like it. I can start with the rings, or I can start with the bench press, or I can start with the squats or the bands. It's whatever, or just doing, push-ups or pull-ups. I'm just starting with whatever I feel like it. Or sometimes when I want to be stronger on the bench press, I'm just starting on the, on the bench press, because that
Mhm.
usually requires a lot. And if I'm too fatigued, I couldn't press. press it, enough with
Hmm.
enough repetition. So, yeah, I'm just deciding that every time on the spot, and that is what also it makes it, free and interesting. I don't feel restricted in any way. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? I noticed you've brought up the bands before, the resistance bands, and I've been interested in that because I don't see a lot of people, honestly, with using the bands. Like I mostly see people with the weights, the stereo, their usual weights and stuff. The bands, you said that it actually gives you a different type of would you say that then it's a different type of resistance that putting into it, or because it's the bands, right? Like you've been using that for a while now, haven't you? The bands?
Yeah, and I'm adding more to, I mean, because the bands are, with handles, and you can add
Hmm.
different colors of bands, and every color is a different resistance. So the more you add, the more resistance you have. So you can just detach one, attach another one, depending on your needs, what you want to lift, feel, and all of that. And they have so many uses for them. You can just put them over like my squat rack or whatever it's called, and you can
Oh
just
yes.
pull them like that for back exercise like that,
Oh,
and it's freaking amazing. And yes, it does differ from lifting a barbell or a dumbbell,
dumbbells.
because it just, it's giving you resistance, like it's trembling almost,
Yeah, yeah.
and putting more time under tension. And it's not quite the same as the time under tension that you get when you work out with regular weights. And I
Mm.
do feel that whatever is different for the muscle is going
Hmm.
to help build it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always, because I don't see a lot of, I don't know, maybe a lot of people don't know about um, the bands versus the dumbbells, the barbells, or maybe they do. Maybe some people just prefer the weights like the dumbbells, barbells, right? And some people don't prefer the bands. Seems like it.
Well, I think that, there's so many ways of working out that, um what to tell you. I mean, some of my friends that I've spoken to about the bands in general, they're
Mhm.
like, "No, I'm not accepting anything that is not iron." And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, iron itself does not give you muscles. The
Right.
exercise and the way that you perform it, the weight of it, the repetition of it, that is what makes the muscle grow. So it doesn't matter for your body what you're lifting
Hmm.
exactly, but what you're doing with what you're lifting, and all of that, the nature of what you're lifting. And in the case of the bands, they're like super practical. You can carry them around everywhere. You can
Hmm.
even use them for, I mean, there's other types of bands that are very thick and long. You can put them, on the ground, and strap them around your back and do push-ups, and they can provide additional tension. You can use them for
Wow.
so many ways. It's unbelievable. So they're very, very important, I think. And especially when you travel, you can always just put them in any bag. They weigh just a few grams. So super practical. And you have to mix things up anyways. You cannot deny the weight, you cannot deny the bands. Everything works.
Wow, that's good to know. Yeah, like you mentioned, it definitely does seem like the bands, because again, they're lighter, way lighter than carrying around, metal, carrying around the weights. And like you said, you can carry them, take them with you, I guess, in a bag wherever,
Mhm.
I didn't even know that about those thicker bands you mentioned, where, you basically do push-ups with. That's good to. It sounds then you can use them for just about any type of, almost any type of a workout, correct? Like
Yeah,
your arms.
absolutely. I'm strapping them on my extreme gym, um, that thing that you put on your door. I forgot the word for
Oh,
that. Ah, damn it, the pull-up bar. Yeah, I strap them on my
okay.
pull-up bar,
Yeah.
and you can do bicep extensions, like that. the way that you're doing them with
Mm-hmm.
cables in the gym,
Mm-hmm.
that exercise for the tricep.
The
So
triceps, yeah.
triceps, yeah, it's really amazing. And the more bands you add, the difficult it gets. So um, you can adjust the exact weight that you want. It's perfect. You can again do this for those muscles here, the back muscles, grab the
Mhm.
bands like this and just pull them like that. So you totally replacing so many gym equipment
Oh,
with the bands that it's unbelievable. So I do think that if you want to replace a lot of things that you can use in the gym, you can just buy the type of bands that I have, and you're done it like that. So it's pretty awesome. Just to pay some attention to Ivy for a second. Hi, Ivy. Glad to be, yeah, glad to be on time. He said.
oh, Avi, yeah, good to have him on.
Yeah, for glutes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can step on them. With the two handles, you hold the two handles and you step in the middle of the bands. Just do this for triceps. I mean, for biceps. Sorry, for biceps,
For
and the
biceps.
same things for for the shoulders. You
Hmm.
can pull them like that. So
Oh,
so
okay.
many uses. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And then you also mentioned something that I've heard other people as well say about how, there's people that believe that muscle can only be attained through basically, as they say, iron in the gym, like lifting the dumbbells but yeah, that's not true because even people that use their own body weight can develop muscle, right? It's
Oh
depending,
yeah.
of course, like how the intensity, what's the word? The consistency and all that. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Only that with the body weight,
nice.
something broke the connection for a second, I think.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
you. You're good.
Okay, I see you too. So, yeah, cheers to
Yeah.
Ivy. Our friend Ivy here. He's also,
Abby, nice to have you on. And anybody else that's watching, of course.
yeah, of course. So you can, I mean, some people are just like, street fitness, and some people are just like, oh no, only the gym, and all of that is bull crap because, as you said, you can build muscles with every technique. I mean, if it's the right technique, I mean, every way, but the difference is, between all of that is with street fitness, only body weight. You can achieve a particular physique that is lighter, well defined, but a lot lighter. And when you increase the weight, you can build more muscle like that. So I do think that it's good to combine everything because you're also developing different types of strength when you do body weight exercises and another type of strength when you lift weights, and everything is important, the both of the two things. So nothing is to be excluded because that's stupid. Just incorporate the two things because they're both very important. Like in for instance, when you're training with the rings, you also create a very good tendon strength, which is also again very important, and stability, because in order
Mm-hmm.
to when you grab the rings and you try to lift yourself and just stay like that, you have to have very good stability, because otherwise, no matter how much how much is your strength, you're gonna be trembling like this, not be able to
Yeah.
hold. If you're not you have to be able to lock like that and be stable so you can do your exercise. So everything, I mean, all of those ways of training are important to develop uh, all types of strength and stability in the core and the whole body. So we should not exclude weights or bands or whatever. We should just try to use everything because it's just great.
Yeah. Basically to switch it up, as you said, right? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. I believe that, yeah, you can get definitely great results doing it that way because I've also read in different, like forums and sites where they say, I guess trainers are the ones that are advising to switch it up and to, weight you can do with weights, also, your own body weight also, and as you said with the bands and such. Now the rings, yeah, I forgot all about that because I think you posted that on your Facebook once about the rings that you got. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's really good to know. And then I had a question that maybe some people also might be curious to ask. The whole thing about as often as you would recommend to work out. I remember last time you recommended at least, what was it, at least 4 days, I think it was, that you recommend, like that's your recommendation to try to work out at least 4 days a week.
yeah,
Um,
you can say that. You can say that. But as I said, when we have a very busy schedule and day, just try to do some kind of a workout every day. And of course, I need like this thing on my hand, the fitness tracker. And this time, a
mhm,
Samsung Gear Fit 2 Pro. It's very long to say. And in the beginning, at least, when it tracks your activity and you can track your calories with my fitness pal, they're both
right.
connected. So when you eat all of your calories for today and you do all your exercise for today, whatever calories you burned from the exercise, this and connected to the phone and my fitness pal will calculate, take from the calories that you spent, so you see if you have more to eat, for instance. But that is very good to know what you're eating. That's very good to know how you're spending your calories, and you will lose weight for sure like that, because if you don't go over the calories, you're awesome. And it's also good because it can track your steps, and the phone also can track your steps, but it has to be glued to you all day, all the every freaking minute of the day, which is not possible. So it's better to have this on your hand.
Mhm,
Um, and in the beginning, I was very strict with it. I have this, since very recently, so I can lose, weight more consistently, not only with the fasting that I do, and it really helped. But now I basically know again how much I'm spending and how much I'm eating, so I'm not logging in my calories recently because just no use. It's working. I already know what to do. But I mean, in the beginning, if you can buy a fitness tracker, that is a very good quality fitness tracker, because there's a
oh,
lot of crap out there. I mean, unfortunately, it's expensive, but it does the job. And then when you have my fitness pal, which is a free software, and this works with it. They have a contract, Samsung, and and my fitness pal. You can really like open your eyes about everything, what you eat and how much activity you get through the day. So it's important to move like 8,000 steps a day at least, and then after that, it's important to get your workout in. So I say 4 days a week, but you should do whatever possible to do this amount of activity that is going to be in the range of your calories, to be on the calorie deficit side if you want to lose weight. Also, I mean, always try to do whatever, even if it's the smallest workout. So I
mhm,
do say 4 days, but the recommended thing, from me is just every day something. If you cannot do a full, that's I mean, you can do like a full 1 hour and a half workout 4 days, and the rest of the day just try to, let's say, one day rest, and the other 3 days, I mean the other 2 days that are left from the week, you just do small workouts, let's say, something
mhm.
like that.
Oh, all right. That's interesting. Um, let's see here. And then, okay, let me see what other questions I have there. Oh, another question I had was, um, is it best to work out, like when you start your workout, is it best to work out on an empty, a complete empty stomach, or is it what would you say, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's some research to suggest that working out fasted is better, but it depends on how many hours you fasted before that. Because the mornings you should not eat before a workout, of course. So that means that you're fasted. So the research say that the people that didn't fast for that long, I mean, they ate like at the evening and then 8 or 9, 10 o'clock in the morning they worked out. There's not really a difference between the amount of calories that they burn compared to people that, let's say, fasted for even a smaller amount of time. But people that fast like me for 16 or 18 hours,
Mm.
if you work out in the morning, you will lose a lot more. I mean, you will be able to burn more fat because by that time the body is in ketosis and it's more optimized to take from your fat. I mean, it's already thinking to and how to take from your fat storages because it's already burned out through all of your glycogen in your liver. So it
Hmm.
has no nothing to take from except your fat. So it takes from your fat and not from your muscle, actually, especially when you work out and fasting, they just go hand in hand and do not let you lose muscle. So yeah, but I don't like to work out in the morning just because I don't have time then.
Yeah.
And it's kind of again supported by research that is a bit better to work out at the evening. But if you cannot work out at the evening, like this is the only time that I can, just work out whatever time of the day is possible because it's better to work out than to not work out.
Then to not work out. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Right.
can always do the optimal. I just want to say something about Ivy, just a second to hold that thought, Diego. So he says, although in calisthenics you can always do, I think he meant a tougher variation of the same exercise. It might be an equivalent of higher weight, but you're right, Gary, using everything can go wrong. Uh yes, well, yeah, I also thought of that yeah, you can do more volume to an exercise. I mean, you can add repetitions and that way you can build more muscle, but still the guys that do calisthenics are never as jacked as big as the guys that do weights. So either they are doing it more light or it's really just a matter of hitting the muscle in different ways that makes the guys that lift weights look bigger. And of course I'm talking about the guys that do things naturally. Again, not I'm not talking about the enhancement performance drugs or anything like that. um yeah, but you can achieve perfect physiques in both ways. I just think that it's not good to limit yourself in any kind of a way when you work out because the body doesn't want to make muscle anyways. So it's a lot better if you just I mean, you have to will it to happen, you have to make it to create the muscle tissue. You have to be like, well, here's what I do, body. Now, um, you know, see it as necessary to create muscle tissue. You have to make it, will it to happen. So just use whatever possible because it's healthy anyways to do everything, of these things. As I said, it develops different qualities for your body. So, yeah, don't exclude it.
Hmm. I see. Yeah, about those guys. The calisthenics, is that how you say it? Calisthenics.
Calisthenics, yeah.
Is that basically, can you explain real quick what, sometimes I get, for those that might not understand what it is and include, sometimes I get confused to what that is, to be honest. The calisthenics versus like the other type of, like the weight trainers.
Yeah,
Cal-
well, calisthenics is just, training with your body weight somewhere outside or at the gym, pulling your body weight, doing different things on. I just forget the words for that, but all those pulling equipment that you can have outside at a school
Yeah.
or somewhere else. Calisthenics can also be. the training with the rings, everything that is your body weight that you can do. You can hang off different things, pull up bars. Yeah, that's what I again forgot how
Yeah, the
to
pull-up
say.
bars. Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Calisthenics just does not include any weight. That's what.
weights.
Yeah, any
Mm-hmm.
additional weight than your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. And those so those are the guys that you see doing the what do they call it, the flag, the human
Yeah, the
flag or
flag. Yeah, the
whatever.
human flag. Yeah, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome course
That's
too.
cool. I like that. They're like the first time I saw that when I was younger, I was like, is that real? How are they how are they doing that? Because I would try doing it. Of course, I couldn't. I could not even come close to doing that back, especially least of all back in those days. Where they hang off from the side and their body's super still. Well, the ones that have more practice with I guess control and balance and all that, and strength too, because that looks like it requires
Yeah.
reasonable amount of strength too. To be honest.
Yeah, it develops that that strength that of course you can lift your body weight and very high, I mean very developed core strength. So again, very important to train that way to some people that only train with weights when they try to lift themselves or when they try to stabilize their core with some of these exercises, they're just like, oh, what the heck, I can't, because that is the muscles are not trained to do that. So that's why you must train everything in every way.
That's true. That I would agree with you too. Yeah, it's definitely sounds better to do that as well. And then I had a question just for I was curious. Was there when you began your training, this path you're on, your fitness training, was there at all any sort of workout that you said, okay, this is my least favorite, like maybe it was legs, maybe it was, your core. Was there anything at all that you said, okay, this is my least favorite type of
Yeah,
workout?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's training the stomach basically
Yeah.
directly. With crunches and all of that, I always wasn't very fond of crunches. I'm trying to train my stomach in a lot of other ways, hanging off the pull-up bar and just lifting my legs up, or bringing my knees close to my chest, kind of exercises, a lot of other things, but not condition, I mean not traditional crunches. I just don't like them for some reason. Yeah, they're kind of boring to me. I don't know.
You know what? I think that's I've heard a lot of people say that as well, that they're some of their least favorite type of it's the core, like when people are trying to work out their abs, get, a six pack or whatever, and they're like, yeah, it's my least favorite. And I guess I can see why, because it's a pretty brutal type of, workout, just focusing alone just on your core. Um, some people like myself, I'm not a big fan of the legs, like the lower, but I still try and keep up with those as often as I can. I remember, the first time ever that that I really hit my lower body. Oh man, I remember I was suffering, so like everything was super sore. I couldn't even when I would sit down, it was like it was just brutal. And then even just to walk, I felt like an old person because my muscles were so sore. But yeah, the legs are probably for me my least favorite. But
Yeah. Well, I'll only do squats and ride a bike for legs. So squats, riding the bike. Mm, yeah, well, that's mostly what I do for the legs, and they're pretty developed. I don't have any problems with the calves or anything else. They're pretty awesomely developed. So, and very very hard on the touch. Now, I try to do that exercise for the butt. I forgot how it was, but it's basically you're putting a, a a bar on your on your pelvis with weights, and you're
mm,
pushing it forward. So yeah, that's very good for the glutes. Yeah.
oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and you did you always mentioned that you like to ride your bike, and that's good. That's a good activity right there. You always see, well, I always see people like at the side of like where I live, there's a highway where you see people bicycling basically on the side of, like they always normally how they do on the
Hmm.
side of the road. You see people bicycling and they just do that for like, I don't know how long, because I've never done that myself where they go on those type of long trips, bicycling. But that's a good, that looks like a good workout. You always see, and I mean like groups of people that do that. And then there's people that say that they don't like to, cycle outside for that long. I don't know. Everybody has their, I guess, their preference.
Yeah.
As far as cardio goes, because you told me that you like to do at least what was it twice a week at least that you like to do, like just focus on cardio itself, right?
Well, it depends because when I'm at home, off days like today is an off day because we have a national holiday and all of that. I am not doing anything almost except what I do, in the apartment throughout the day. So on these days, I would try to do a lot more cardio, like 30 minutes at least on my cross trainer, and then lift the weights. That's what I'm gonna do after this hangout.
Uh,
Other days, I'm just riding the bike. So from work and back, and I'm not doing a particular side cardio to add to that. I mean, it still depends on how many steps I had for the day and all of that. But if I had enough, I am just continuing with the weights. I'm not doing any more cardio because I've driven the bike during the day and I've walked a lot and so on. So yeah.
and then I don't know if you does anybody else have any questions? Sorry,
Yes, I have to read the chat.
am I the only one mostly asking or
I have to read the chat. Yeah, wait a second.
okay.
So Ivy says, indeed, shoulder strength depends greatly on many back and side muscles as well. Yes, talking of abs, do you guys enjoy planks? On their many variations, by the way. Yes, okay, planks are made for training your muscles that are under your abs, which is basically what is the your natural belt, the core, and that's super freaking important if you want to lift a lot of heavy things without using a weight belt, because weight belts are actually making your core muscles weaker because
Mm,
you're tightening this area and you're preventing your muscles to be activated in the same way if you don't have a belt. So when you tight this area and you try to lift something, you're not using this area. I mean, you only half using it. And so when you try to do only a basic move during the day, you can, you know, what was throw your back or something. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I mean. So I am against weight belts in general, and you should not go as I mean, you're progressing with the weights that you're lifting throughout the months and years, but if you're not like a professional lifter, I don't think that you should go over like particular pounds or kilograms. It's just too much weight for the body. I don't think it's necessary to go above like 150 or 200 kilograms, which is about 400 pounds. It's just my personal take on it because you are doing something that is too heavy for the joints and all of that to your body. Again, if you're not professional lifter, if you want to see where your limits lie and how much you can lift, okay, but I am training for optimal physical development and health, and I don't think I should put so much stress on my joints overall. I do plan, and I do advise for you to train your strength to get stronger and stronger, but I just do advise to be careful with how much weight you're training with.
Mm,
And okay, just to finish what Marta said, more challenging variations are better. Yes, the plank itself is too simple to challenge yourself. If you can hold it for a minute, it's time to move on to something more advanced. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, that's one of the basic things. And Ivy said, indeed, what I loved about it is that you can always find ways to make it more difficult. Yeah, of course. And with the rings, actually, is similar, because when you do back, when you hang yourself from from the ground, I mean, for back, you're basically lying, lying back, and you're trying to pull yourself to
Mm.
train the back. You can just change your legs position, and it will make you easier or heavier. So yeah, it's very cool like that. You can just adjust a bit your position, and yeah, it's totally different.
Oh, okay. And then speaking about touching back again on the cardio thing, I've of course, people do cardio like more traditional ways of doing cardio, running, jogging, anything basically like that. But you could also get a pretty decent cardio just by lifting heavy weights, right? Like
Oh
when you
no, 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 Diego.
no?
No, I mean, lifting weights is not cardio. It is tasking on your nervous system, and you should rest enough time. We should also talk about the resting times, because it's super important if you don't want to get the
Hmm.
burnout effect. Uh, but cardio is not the same as lifting weights. Cardio is another type of activity that activates the cardiovascular system in a different way, and so you have to do both. But again, with the cardio, I do advise that is not too extensive, or it's not too fast, because that is also not very good for your heart. I do think that it's very bad. So it's more moderate. I mean, moderate cardio, it's better than super intensive cardio. It also, I also read some research that said that more intensive cardio, it's releasing free radicals in your body, so it makes you older faster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just have to be everything in moderation, you can say. Um, some people say yes, but you will become more resilient, when you train, quicker. But a lot of people destroy their cardiovascular system this way, and they do damage, and they have to rest for months, and then they lose gains. They don't gain. I mean, they lose what they've done. And that is what happened to my boyfriend as well. He's still resting, and that angers me a lot, because a lot of months have passed by, and he's not
Mm.
started and continued to work out at all after what happened to him. So just don't burn out yourself. When you do cardio, just try to make it, not too intensive, just what you can handle. And when you lift weights, that also can make your heart, beat a lot. So just take time to take your breath and rest, 1 minute, 2 minutes if you have to. Just wait for your pose to normalize before you start again. That's very important. That's why, again, I need this sometimes.
Hmm.
I can feel, how my pose is, but I mean, to this point, I've learned to sense my own body, how it reacts. But it usually, if it's above 100, you just have to calm down and to fall like 90, 80, and then you can start again. And sometimes when you're more tired, when you didn't had enough sleep through the week, that is gonna affect your workouts very, very badly. So you're gonna reach a higher pose a lot quicker if you're tired. So just watch out with those things, because it's important. It could be dangerous. Yeah. So yeah, rest. Don't be like those CrossFit people that just don't stop all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, those people are gonna kill themselves. They're super not healthy. That's super not healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, there are, I know what you're talking about. There's people that, yeah, definitely go too intense, and it seems like, yeah, it's like a nonstop thing for them. And the reason why I asked the whole thing about, the cardio with weights versus the more proper cardio, which is like running, jogging, jumping, whatever, all that stuff, is because I came across something, I forgot where it was on, but someone was talking about how, and it was a man, he was talking about how he's like, oh yeah, you don't need to do all that other stuff with cardio, you could get all your you can get all your cardio with the what was he talking about, squatting? Like, you know how there's a lot of people that like to do the squats with weights or something like that. And I was like, like really, is that true? And I'm like, I'm going to ask Getty and see what she what she wants to, or what her thoughts on this or her knowledge is, because I know you're very knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff. You've been doing this for a while now, so that's good to know then. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I've said, weights activate your. I mean, they're putting stress on your heart, and the running and the other activities that count for cardio also do that. But they are different, and do be careful with both of them. So okay, I just have to pay attention to the chat
Hmm.
real quick, Diego. So Irko is here. How to hide to Irko? Yeah, yeah, Ivy, about the belts. Yeah, you can say that. You can definitely tell that this makes a lot of sense. You can research that even more if you like. I mean, people these days, a lot of fitness YouTubers that I watch, they use belts for everything, like bench pressing, deadlifting, everything that is under the sun there with the belt. And I don't think that's is okay. Like I said, again, if you're a professional lifter, something like that, and you have to lift something that is beyond what is usually achievable, of course, use a belt, but they use it for every exercise, and even on a way that is for warm up, you can say. So that's absolutely
Hmm.
ridiculous. Ivy says, important advice, Gary. My cousin is training to run a marathon. She's 40 years old, and it does take a great toll on her body. Yeah, the more you train and don't rest, you're just destroying yourself. So, physical activity is awesome, but like everything else, again, in moderation, or you're gonna kill yourself. Okay. Okay, they're talking. Uh, who did somebody delete Marto's message? By the way, or he deleted that himself in eating? He's kidding. I mean, if you don't know him, he's kidding. We have this communication with him, so whatever he says, don't delete his comment. Moderators, please, whatever it is. uh, because I know what he means, so there's just no problem at all. So yeah,
And then and then when you're doing reps of anything, and be weights or whatever, when you're doing reps, I've heard some people recommend to do it until you can't do no more, and I've heard other people say just try and stay on your own, like, okay, I can go on more, but I can't lift it another time, so I shouldn't even try. Does that matter at all? Like, what would you recommend?
yeah, that's very important. Actually, that's super important. That's the one thing that we should touch upon. So my mistake that I personally have to admit is that I was training to failure, which
Mhm.
is okay, but you have to first know what is training to failure in order to do it right, because a lot of people do not actually know what is that and when to stop, what is to the failure part. But when you do that, you sometimes you don't even count how many reps you're doing, and so you can do more with one arm or more with the other arm, and that actually creates muscle uh, imbalance, because you can develop one bicep or shoulder or whatever more than the other arm, and that actually happened to me, and now I have to equal them out, which is
Ah,
freaking terrible. It is working. I am doing it, but I could have avoided all of that if I was just counting, because you should do the exact amount of reps, and I mean to each limb, uh, and you should not, you should always count what you're doing. But let's say that the perfect ratio of repetitions is between 6 and 12. That is what is like a default. uh, so yeah, you can try to do between 6 and 12 on on a particular set, and then do like 4 sets or 5 sets, just not too little, not too much, on a particular exercise. There's different programs like 5 by 5 with me, which means 5 sets of 5 repetitions. I'm not really fond of that because 5 is like too low, but it's still depending on the weight. But let's say that you start doing, bicep curls, and you're like
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you feel that you can barely lift it. You can barely
Yeah.
lift it. So if you cannot do it with perfect form, and that's perfect form, my elbows are not going anywhere. They're not, I'm not
Right.
doing this. I'm not lifting with the shoulder. I'm still lifting with the biceps. So if you can do it still, that's probably the last rep. And if you can't, and you're struggling like that, that means that you should not continue. You stop right this second. And perfect example of a cheat rep or a rep that you should not do is a recent video of how Alicia Vikander works out for Lara Croft. She gets like huge dumbbells. And she's, lifting them with the whole, like this area, And I'm like, what
Yeah.
is she doing? And the trainer is sitting right there next to her. And he's like, yeah, yeah, That's kind of a face. And I'm like, what is she doing, God? I mean, that's a cheat rep. She is putting a lot of stress on her shoulder and on this part just here. And I just don't get it. Why? I mean, cheat reps, maybe they have some kind of a value in terms of muscle building because it's stress on the muscle. It's time under tension, which again is very important. But if it's not correct, I don't know. I can support that. It's illogical to me. And yeah, I'm gonna return to the comments. But first, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've actually been guilty of doing, like, okay, I can't, like, stubbornly trying to do more, and I've literally been there like, no, all right, let me try it again. No, and yeah, and your body's like bending back, and yeah,
No,
I've done
no,
that
no.
before. That's so bad. I know.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that at all. You have to be able to sustain the perfect form and do
Right.
it. And if you can, then don't do it. If you start to,
Yeah.
it's not the perfect form, just don't do anymore. Stop, rest for a minute or two, and continue if it's another set that you didn't finish or something like that.
Yeah, no, right, right. Yeah, that's definitely true. And form, as you said, because of that, that's why it's very important. The form, um, and you see some people, well, mainly the novice, like the beginners, the ones that are barely learning, and you see how sometimes they'll make the mistake of not having the correct form, right? Like some people might, like when they do like the curls, like I think some beginners do the mistake to not like go all the way down, where you got to extend it and then pull it back
Mhm.
up. Some kind of just do the more like halfway type of,
Yeah,
like not even
half
go all the way
reps.
down. Yeah.
Well, full range of motion. I mean, that's about full range of motion. And sometimes it's better for your joints than to do full range of motion. But
Mm.
yeah, I personally try to do it most of the time, but I can see why some people will say that if you do half rep and it's not full range of motion, you do put less stress on your joints.
Hmm.
So that's another thing. I'm just trying to do full most of the time, but I also try to feel what is going on here and here. So yeah, I'm just trying to be careful with that. And sometimes I do half reps of something just to develop kind of like a different way of pulling myself. I mean, depending on the exercise, but sometimes I do it so I can focus on mind to muscle connection. I can feel what I'm actually doing, how my muscle contracts when I do that. So you just have to learn your body, just experiment a bit as long as it's safe. And I
Hmm.
do think that that's a lot safer because you're not actually, doing the complete motion. Just a second, by the way, I have to read the stuff. Hold that thought, whatever you have.
Okay.
Mm, okay, so Marta did remove that comment. Uh, no, left for out. Okay, that's a joke. My favorite change the feelings when you puke blood on He's joking, okay. To focus workout activity. Deadlift. Sorry, I'm Bulgarian. I'm speaking
No,
Bulgarian.
that's okay.
World record. Yeah. Yeah, almost had a stroke. Yeah, I know that about the world deadlifting record. Yeah, you can also stop the stream and read the comments. By the way, that's what I do. I'm just stopping it and reading the comments. Okay. Pounds. Oh yeah, that. Oh, that was crazy. Ah. Okay. 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 It's a lot of funny stuff, basically, right now.
From your Bulgarian viewers,
Yeah, and
mostly.
mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because you have a lot. I know you have a lot of Bulgarian viewers, a lot of Bulgarian followers, that, and also from English speakers. You're also getting a lot of them. Because I notice in your comments, like in your YouTube channels. So that's good. That's good to know. And then
Yeah, I'm happy some
obviously we
of them
got.
speak English. Yeah.
And what was I gonna? I had something I was gonna. Oh right, yeah. And then so Getty does not. You do not do the whole gym thing, right? You prefer to just work out in your own, like at your home, no gym. And that's like me, because I've never really, I don't know, I've never really liked doing the whole gym thing myself. Mostly because you got there's gyms where you get people like waiting on you, or you have to wait on this specific machine, and there people sometimes go and check, oh, are you ready yet? And then it's like, and then I don't know, and then people are all sweaty everywhere, and you gotta clean their machines and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just it's not for
Yeah.
me either. The whole.
It's terrible. I mean, for me, it's terrible because when I work out like in 12 a.m. at night, 11, 10, or whatever, most gyms do not work at this time, if any, and I have to go to there is not that close, and you have to you have to deal with a lot of people, you have to be sweaty, you have to be so many things that you don't want to be. And when you invest in your health, and you have like 2 meters by 2.5 meters of space, even that small, you can put the most important things there and work out. So if you like to build a physique, you can in your home. And those all of those that equipment does not require anything. Dusting it out, I have to dust it out, clean it sometimes, but that is it. It just sits there, and you can work out any freaking time that you like. So yeah, I'm totally for home gym and investing in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay a monthly fee either.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of money, not only in America, but here it's not a lot, but it's still significant amount, you can say, depending on which gym you have to go
Yeah.
to. And those gyms here, they're marketing it. The marketing is like, oh, built great, and I don't know what. It's like the only freaking way is to go there and to use their fancy new equipment, and that fancy new equipment is going to somehow burn everything from you and just create muscle like that, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it just require more knowledge, and you can see which equipment is most important. And like I said, with the bands you can replace a lot of fitness gear and exercises and hit absolutely every muscle group and adjust the resistance of everything. So you absolutely do not need a gym to do that. You just need some very important gym equipment to do that, like my stand for the big barbell that can be used for bench press, for squats, for pull-ups even, because it can be adjusted, the height of the barbell. You can even do pull-ups with that. You can do rack pulls when you place it on the lowest, lower point, which is something that I do instead of deadlift these days, because the deadlift turned out to be very tasking for my hips. I mean, the stress is on that part of the joints right here, so I just quit that altogether. And besides, the deadlift is very good overall exercise for the whole body, but it's not concentrated on a particular part that much, except maybe the glutes. And you can train that a lot safer with other exercises. And as far as the back goes, with the, when with the rack pulls, you can target your back a lot better, and you can lift a lot more weight than you can with the deadlift. So I can lift about 180 pounds, you can say that way,
Oh, okay.
but I cannot do that with a deadlift yet, and I shouldn't be, doing that to my joints anyway. So I'm kind of against the deadlift these days. I think that it's unnecessary for, again, not professional lifter to do that. If you just want to build a physique, strength, and very awesome develop back muscles and overall body, just you don't need to stress your joints with that exercise.
That's great advice. That's really good advice. And then I was gonna I lost my train of thought. Oh no, I got it. So another question I had for you was, when you're doing, let's see, what was it like? Let's say I'm gonna start off doing some curls, right? Like maybe with a dumbbells, whatever. I've heard that it's best, first do like a little warm up, a few, like one, maybe a few of them for the warm up, and then you can go for the heavier ones. Like, is
Mhm.
that correct? Like you do a little warm up set first, and then you start what you were intending to lift, maybe, let's say, and then once you're done with that, then you go again with a little, what is it, like what do they call it, the cool down? Like you go again with the lighter weights, just so you won't just stop it just like that with a heavy. Is that true? Or does it really matter? Or
It depends. Like, first, for me, stretching is very good. Stretching, to just stretch out in
hmm,
general. But most of the times, I don't do warm ups and stuff. Like I can do like something like that, for instance. But I don't need. I don't think that the body always needs to warm up because it's made to be moving, all the time anyways. So I just
right?
go to the rings and start, doing this. Like, or just, yeah, I start with the heaviest weight sometimes. Sometimes I start with the lighter weight. When you start with the heaviest weights first and then you move to the lightest, that is what is called the reverse pyramid training. And when you
Oh,
start, yeah, and when you start with the lowest to the heaviest, that just took normal kind of a training. But both are very effective. There's some research to suggest that reverse pyramid is effective, and the regular things. I mean, the regular way is still effective.
hmm,
So you can do both. I can always, and I always do both things depending on how I feel. If I slept more, some days I'm stronger. So
hmm.
I can start with the heaviest weight, and that's how I have more strength. And I never had an injury that way. So I don't think that you should warm up every time, like super warm up or something like that. I think it makes sense that the blood is going to flow to your muscles and all of that. But I personally don't feel for my physique or body and the way that I know my body that I need to do a lot of this, before I start
Yeah.
lifting. So I can just start freaking lifting and not lose 20 minutes on stretching, or because that's too much time to lose. But again, I always try to stretch throughout the day, even when I'm sitting. Like now, I'm gonna get up, after the hangout, stretch a bit everywhere before I start working
Hmm.
out. So those are things that you should do anyways, working out or not working out. And then before you work out, you just start working out. At least, yeah, that's how I do it.
Awesome. All right, right on. Let me see if I had any. Do they have any other questions? I'm gonna think of asking you something else. I know I had another question in mind, but
Okay, I'm just gonna return to the chat then. Ivy said some things. Yes, gyms are not cheap. They can cost a lot here. I've never been in a gym since I was 21, though. Never liked it myself, with the loud music, and I don't enjoy that much. and the bois guys. I don't know what is that, Ivy. Then he said, by the way, Gary, instead of deadlifts, have you considered some variations of bridges? You can put weights on your stomach while doing them. No, I haven't. But like I said, I'm doing rack pulls above the knee instead of, deadlifts. I'm just gonna check what you mean. Okay, so bridges is what I do with, what I wanted to explain before is the exact thing that I do with a barbell on my hips. So that's how I do that. Yeah. And this is for the glutes and the butt. The butt, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, who scream for the sake of screaming? What? I'm not getting that, Ivy. Who scream for the sake of screaming? Are you getting that, Diego?
Oh, I guess unless he means, does he mean the people in the gym when they're like yelling, screaming? That's what came to my mind. Avi, is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, Ivy, I have no idea how things are there in your country in terms of how people are behaving in the gym. I've heard a lot of things about people, how they're behaving in the movie theaters in America, how loud they are, and some things about people in America, how they, again, behave in gyms, but I never heard what you're saying. People who lift 1 kilogram with with and scream as if they are Ragnar. So yeah. Okay. Oh, that's
Wait,
funny.
if they are what?
Ragnar, that's the Viking king from Vikings, the TV show. Yeah,
it.
they're like lifting 1 kilogram. They're like,
Yeah.
oh
yeah, we got a lot of those guys here in America. Like they're just like to be super loud, super like, hey, here I am, pay attention to me. And that's why a lot of the times I think that's why they go to the gym, to get the attention. And they what do they call them? The workout bros. Like they get a bunch of a few guys like that too. And any little any set they're doing, they're like yelling super loud. And yeah, I don't know. That's another reason why I don't like going to the gym too. You got the screamers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's extremely, it's extremely annoying, I suppose so. And as a girl, I suppose that there's gonna be some people that are gonna watch me what I'm doing, probably. So I do want
Yes,
to
they are.
avoid that. I do want to avoid.
Yeah, they will. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Yeah, there's those guys that will be like just in there and checking you out and looking at, and that's very uncomfortable for the ladies. They just go there to work out. And you got these guys like looking at them and eyeing them. Yeah, there's those guys too. It's so stupid, but yeah.
I actually want to show you a device that I have. I just forgot to take it with me. It's a Powerball, if you know what that is.
A Powerball?
Yeah, Powerball is an incredible invention that works out your whole arm, and also it repairs tendons. And if you have any joint pains and all of that, it's very hard to hold on to because it's very powerful. You can see what I mean. Just a second, I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, just a sec.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Just to put up my headphones. So the Powerball, here it is. If you can see it.
Oh, I think I've seen. Wait, have I seen those before? I don't know.
You should. Yeah.
It looks familiar.
They're famous. They're kind of famous.
I think I have seen those somewhere before.
Okay, it says a revolution for injury prevention, rehabilitation, and strengthening. Yeah, it's awesome. So the way it works is that you put this,
the little cord thing.
Yeah, you have to put it in a hole here because you have to make it start. It's like an engine that you run basically.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, there's a little canal here, and I have to, kind of make it go through there, and then I'm gonna pull the string very fast, and I have to start it with spinning motion. So let me try.
Okay.
Okay, you should hear it in a second. If I am able to start it right away though. No, I have to try again. Sometimes it takes like 2 times at least to make it start. So, but it's going to be very awesome when I show you how it works. So,
You know
be
what that kind of looks like? To me, it kind of looks like that. What's that little ball from that Star Wars movie? That little, I forget his name.
R2D2,
No, that
C3PO,
the circle one
BB8,
from the one of the new Star Wars movies. I don't know. I forgot his
BB8,
name.
BB8, BB8.
Yeah,
Can you hear it?
I think I can. I think I can now. Let me see. Yeah, I hear something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an engine. So that so now
Oh,
there's a huge resistance in my arm. It's so huge that I can barely hold it basically. And you have to spin it and spin it and spin it because it will stop. Otherwise, it's like a plane that's going to fly
oh
out.
wow, that's cool. I heard that very clearly. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, uh, you have to, you know, hold the power.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yep. Yeah. There it is.
It's very hard to hold on. Like you can see what it does.
Let me grab it. Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I gave it to my mom, and she couldn't hold it, and it flew out and it hit the TV.
Really?
So I'm glad that it survived. It has a lifetime warranty, so that's awesome. And it's a gift that Marto in the chat gave me actually. So I'm super grateful that he introduced me to that. It's the best birthday gift that I've gotten in a while. You can see how it
Oh.
spins.
And then you said who introduced that to you?
Marto from the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Martin. He's called Martin. Martin
That's
in
awesome.
English. Yeah, but I call him Marto.
Does anybody else in that you know of? Does anybody else have that, or are you the only one?
He has an older version of this, and this is more modern and professional.
Ah.
It has no battery. You power it with what you're doing, and it has a little screen that shows you what you did. As now it
Oh.
shows nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably set it on something that I shouldn't, but wait a second. Yeah, have to set it on different settings so you can track your progress. But I haven't figured all of that out yet. Okay, I stopped it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yes.
saw it on 0 when that little thing of it. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's set on some. So now I'm pumped for doing nothing, like nothing, but it's not
Yeah.
nothing because my whole arms are burning right now. So you can see how I got pumped.
Yeah, I see your little I see the muscles. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
I see Getty's guns right there. Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
I'm a lot more defined these days. By the way, even
Oh
the
yeah.
lighter, I mean the bright light, you can
Right.
see now a lot of
Well,
definition. You know.
you can tell, you can definitely tell, like, like right there when you were showing the triceps
Mm-hmm.
definition, you can tell, yeah, you're definitely getting more toned for
Oh yeah,
sure.
and
That oh
you
yeah.
can see also like that. You know, when I do that.
Yeah, see, and you got good
Yeah, try traps. Yeah, I got
you
traps
got pretty
actually.
good traps, Getty. I
Yeah.
got I gotta I gotta point that out, yeah, because before, you know what? Before when I think it was the last time when we did the hangout, I I think I could see a big difference now to before. You know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah, I do have a lot. This. I mean, my neck is kind of more developed, and
mhm.
the traps are also a lot more developed than they were because I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this with very big
Yeah,
weight
that's the yeah. There you go. That's the workout thing that you're.
trucks.
And then you use do you use the bands with that as well when you do that, or do you use dumbbells, or what do you normally do?
The bigger bar with the more weight. Yeah, I use the bigger bar.
Oh, okay. And
I could do that with dumbbells as well, but they
how
have
many
to be
reps do you
heavy.
normally do? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Uh, how many reps? Damn it! I think I do like 6 or 7, and then I do like 5 sets of that basically. But because the trap can hold a lot more weight, it's very strong muscle. You can use a lot more weight. And I also with the rings, I'm turning upside down.
Hmm.
With my feet pointing to the ceiling, and I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to pull myself completely you know upside down. I'm pulling myself, and this is also training the traps when I do that
Traps.
upside down. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and Marta pointed out that the boobs are also very developed, which is absolutely true. I mean, the chest muscles are like so hard right now. I can hit them like that. They're so hard. I can flex them all the time, basically. So now I can
Oh
flex
yeah,
this fully. I can feel it fully. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I can flex everything.
because that last time you did a short clip, and I believe it was on this chat, yeah, on your fitness channel, where you were flexing. Remember, you're flexing your chest muscle. Like it was towards the end, I believe
Yeah,
it was.
it
Yeah,
was very funny.
yeah. So yeah, no, definitely you can tell you're getting more toned, you're getting more defined, your muscles are showing more like yeah, that's great. So you're definitely doing something right. I mean, you can tell that you are and you're being consistent, which is very important. You're taking care of your your nutrition. That's another important thing that I know you're definitely very, very on that. I know that so respect to you for that. Your nutrition, your consistency, your rest. I know you try and get as much rest as you possibly can.
In terms of
Um,
sleep, 8 hours. Yeah, at least.
yeah,
8 hours, yeah. But the other rest that we talked about during the exercise, that's again very important too.
very.
So to not
Mhm.
burn out. Just a second, yeah, we get to nutrition. Um, Hi, Gary, greetings from UK. Hi to James. He's a long time viewer of my Zena channel, actually. What the hell did I miss? Okay. So Ivy had one of those bowls back in the day. Well, it's very freaking
Oh,
useful,
wow.
Ivy, by the way. I mean, even now I can feel my whole muscles like so warm from this, and they're so popping out just from doing this. So imagine how much work you're doing with this little bow. And not only that, but I had pain, joint pain in my elbows and my wrist
Mhm.
because of doing bicep curls with you can say about 40 pounds of barbell, one of those crooked barbells. I don't know
Oh,
that they're made for bicep curls. So
for
I
the
got
curly.
some joint
Yeah.
pains from that. But since I'm training with this only from one time, I got rid of the pain like completely.
That's cool.
It's very, very, very beneficial and therapeutic. And it's just awesome. I'm spinning that every freaking day, never miss. So you can do that even watching TV. You just use the cord to make it start, and you're just trying to get its rhythm. And then when you get it, start to really, do this, and you can
Mhm.
continue. Um, okay, another thing, yeah, Gary Power Ivy is awesome. That sounds great. Ivy says it can help my old self. My joints are not as before. Well, Ivy, you could just get on that. This goes for about 27 or 30 bucks. I mean, it depends on where you buy it, but try to get an original one because there's some fakes, as I understood. And
Yes.
this is very high quality. So yeah, the nutrition part, that's always what people get wrong, and that is of course what I did get wrong before. I tried, as I said before, but many people didn't watch my previous video, so I'm just gonna repeat very
Mm-hmm.
fast that I tried a lot of type of diets. Even John Cena's regime of eating that he was selling like a program. It was basically like eat um, beans, meats, never milk, never cheese, a lot of like nuts, seeds, oil. I think it was the only extra virgin that it was allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Eat vegetables, but never eat like milk, bread. So it was very weird thing. And in the end of I mean, you have to do that for 6 days, and the seventh day, the last day, you just go all out and eat whatever you want. So that totally broke me. I was crazy the whole time because there are so many things that fall into the category that I should not eat. So I totally
Yeah.
destroyed my metabolism with that. I wanted to eat terrible things all the time. I thought about sweets all the time. So it was
Oh yeah.
terrible. Just never restrict yourself this way. The thing that I'm trying to teach you and the thing that I'm trying to convey right now, and what I'm doing for 2 years and how I lost weight after I gained it in the
Mm-hmm.
first place, was fasting. Like I said, 16 hours of the day you're not eating anything, which means that in my case, you can move that window of 8 hours that you can eat. But in my case, that's from 11 o'clock till about 6 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon, and after 6 or 7 at the latest, I'm not eating till 11 in the morning the next day, or 12. I try to make the whole 16 hours to the least. More healthy is 18 hours, but let's say you don't have to go overboard right away, so just have to do the 16 to have any effect. So
Right.
what's happening to the body in this state is that your body just, like I mentioned earlier, is getting into ketosis, which means it starts to destroy all the glycogen that you have in your liver, that is created from all the food that you have eaten during this 8 hour period. So it started to destroy all of that for energy. And after that is finished, it takes from your fat. And as it takes from your fat, it also takes from all the bad things in your body. So whatever you're eating that is not healthy, that is stored, it just destroys that as well, because it's desperate. It has to get from somewhere in order to provide you with energy. So it breaks down everything, even the worst bad things. It gets very optimized of cleaning itself. So it's extremely healthy for longevity, for creating even new cells, because cells degenerate with time. You're getting older, but that fasting actually reverses the process, and you're actually creating new cells. So it's very good for slowing down, sorry, aging. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good for so many things that you can possibly imagine. It improves sleep, it improves brain activity, it improves a lot of other things, because you don't really need food the whole time. Our ancestors had a lot of days without eating even, and they were very and more healthy, excluding the diseases. But in terms of how their bodies were optimized for living, they did not need to eat all the time, and that's how your body is usually is. And most of the time, you have enough of fat on ourselves, so we won't become like anorexic or something. So I've been doing this for so many, like 2 years now, and I still normal. I didn't disappear or anything else. And it's very easy to gain weight again. If I even go over my calories, I'm gaining like 300 grams or something, which is like a pound a day I can gain. So you still have to be careful with what you eat. But in this way, in terms of nutrition, you can eat like spaghetti, jelly beans, chocolate. You still have to eat healthy things because of the nutrients that you need, of course. That doesn't mean like go out and eat crap, but at least you can allow yourself to eat whatever you like, and normal amounts, as long as it
Hmm.
covers your calories for the day, as long as it does not go over that those calories.
Right.
um, and so I can still eat my favorite chocolate when I want, my jelly beans when I want, and
Mhm.
I'm not going crazy, and I am making progress all the time. So that is super great. And even if I gain a pound Saturday and Sunday, again, when I'm not, moving that much, I'm gonna lose that in 2 days. So it's not really like a super huge deal, but I mean, there's no longer need of restricting yourself to the point where it is affecting your psyche and your
Yeah.
whole mental state. And yeah, and but if you work something else that requires you to eat at night, you can just move that window of 8 hours, whatever part of the day it's useful for you. You're just more optimized to not eat during the night, because during the night the body is not as optimized to process food the same way that it is during the day. Some people say that's not true, but for me it's totally true. And there's some, again, research that supports that it's bad to go to bed when you have food in your stomach. It actually sits there, and
Mm.
your heart is more burdened with producing energy for that food to be you know used.
Yeah.
So it's better to have a clean stomach when you sleep, so to speak. Of course, there's always something in your stomach, even if you haven't eaten for 6 hours before bed. But the point is that just drink water, enough water when you're fasting, during
Hmm.
the day when you're eating, of course, during the night. It helps with the hunger, and it helps suppress that feeling. And I also had some acid problems, stomach
Hmm.
acids. When I started with all those different types of diet, it just destroyed my stomach flora, you can say,
Uh, yeah.
environment, the stomach. But I fixed that with water and
Mm.
with the fasting. On the contrary, what other people may think, that that's gonna make things worse, but actually, it heals a lot of things. And on that note, again, when you first wake up, the first thing that you should do, except of course going to the bathroom and all of that, is drink water. So you have to
Water.
drink at least one uh, full glass of water when you wake up, because you haven't had any liquids during the night. So it's very important to hydrate yourself right away, and to
Yeah.
wash away everything in your pipe here, in your throat, everything. So on
Hmm.
the stomach. So it's super healthy to drink water in the mornings, and then just continue throughout the day, of course. So yeah, that's it about fasting and nutrition. You can have everything you want, but still try to get in vegetables, fruits, nuts, and whatever you can during the week. Even if it's not every day, during the week you have to have some fruits and vegetables, of course, and you just
Uh-huh.
mix. I mean, try to eat from every group of foods something.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, you basically covered everything that I could have possibly have asked. Yeah, the cheat basically what it's okay to have what they call cheat dates, the cheat dates, like you eat the food like you mentioned, like people that what's considered even junk food, as long as you're not over indulging in that, right? Like you ever once in a while, maybe, as long as you still stay on that more healthier diet that you normally stay on. And of course, that then you work out and exercise and all of that.
Yeah,
That's
and your appetite overall for bad foods, it just dissipates anyways.
mhm.
So let's say I want to eat the gummy bears. I really want I really, really, really like gummy bears. So they're mostly, at least it says on the package, that they're made from a lot of natural juices,
Mhm.
uh, which I hope is true. But okay, let's say that they're not as unhealthy. And one package of these bears is like 250 grams.
Mhm.
So I eat that for, I mean, the whole package, I can eat it for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days sometimes. I can stretch it to 4 days, which is
Mhm.
super low amount every day, just a few gummy bears basically.
Dang.
And it helps me with the hunger a lot during the day somehow. So it's not like, I mean, this period of time I just want gummy bears, but the next month
Yeah.
I may completely forget about them, and I can just want chocolate for a few more weeks, like 1 or 2 bites of chocolate. So if I crave such things, it's usually in small amounts, and
Yeah.
you can eat them for so long that, I mean, they cannot do you any harm. They're in such a small quantities, and they're not so unhealthy by themselves, and your body can deal with such a small amount. Anyways, again, we're talking about something that is not so unhealthy like a McDonald's burger,
Right.
so it's not
Yeah.
really a freaking problem at all. And since I'm not, I'm healthy and all of that. uh, I mean, everything in moderation will not harm you. It's perfectly fine, and you're not going crazy, and you don't have any problems with your mental health because of food. So you can allow
Right.
yourself to do that. And just again, have to return to the comments. Hold that thought again. Diego, sorry. So he
That's okay.
says, thank you. Okay, that sounds great. It can help my old self. Okay, that I read that. You're right. Originals are the best. By the way, do you guys take turmeric pills? Natural, of course. They're supposed to be very healthy. We did it quite a lot in my family, but the pill gives you much more. Actually, that's a great freaking idea. I wanted to start eating turmeric for a lot of time because we don't really cook with that too much here. At least I don't. So it has. I mean, the curry spices. It has turmeric,
Oh,
but I don't use turmeric on its own, and I do know that it's a freaking, very high antioxidant and is very healthy overall. So yeah, if I find turmeric pills, I will definitely buy them. Also, I have a
same here.
yeah, it's a great freaking idea, Diego. Actually, write it down. You can search
Yeah.
about the effects of turmeric. It's so anti-cancer, anti a lot of negative things. He says also, you're right. Many people who kill themselves with an insane diet ends up recovering all the kilograms that they have shed. Ah, yeah, the yo-yo effect and all of that. So everybody should find a lifestyle that they can sustain. I just think that because I've tried so many diets and ways of losing weight and sustaining that, the only thing that worked for me to build finally a very good physique is the fasting, because I don't torture myself at all. Yeah, so that's that. And he said also it's important to always use it along with black pepper, though. Oh, yeah, that's something
Mm.
about absorption of the body. And Marto says, I'm shopping for some, what is that? Some
Some,
steroids. he jokes again. Which brand is the
oh,
best? He's natural, by the way. He's ripped. I mean, Marto, you can see him. He's the guy on my pictures. That's
oh,
Marto.
that's Martin.
Yeah, that's Martin. Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. No, yeah,
he's
he,
ripped.
he looks like I mean, he looks like he's in good shape. He looks, yeah, I've seen that. That's a good picture, by the way. I was telling Getty that it looks like something out of a movie poster or a novel or something. You have great editing skills. That was awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So Marta and I are gonna do some cool stuff together, and he's building. He's still building. Like, he has to build a bit more mass because he's very tall. He's
Mm.
7 feet tall. Oh,
Oh wow, that is tall.
two
Yeah.
meters. Yeah, 2 meters. I think is 7 feet. Have to check actually because I'm curious how much is that, but I'm gonna let you know. 2 meters in feet. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know how much is that. Yeah, it's well, that's very confusing. Those conventors in internet, but I think it's about 7. Ivy's gonna let me know.
I'm guessing it's probably like, I don't know. Let's see. I don't even. But it sounds. I mean, it's very tall, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's very very tall. Very
Are
tall.
are the people in Bulgaria are most people more tall than average height, or how is it more?
Well, you can say. Oh, he said 6 feet and 7 inches, so almost
Oh
7 feet.
wow.
Well,
That's-
our height of the doors is 2 meters, so Yeah, he has to go a bit like that to go through a door, let's say, sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, that's tall. Isn't it harder? It's hard. Like the taller a person is it harder to put on
Yeah, it
muscle?
is. It is. It
Yeah.
is because the muscle base, it's they're longer. So in order to look bigger, you have to put like a lot more to make it, look more, more substantial.
Mm.
So yeah, that. Yeah. Oh, what Ivy said 2.040. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So yeah, so it's harder for him, but he's doing very good right now. So
I'm also checking, trying to read through the comments myself on my phone, by the way. Um, but no, that Martin looks like he's in good shape, because I saw the picture. So all he needs to do is just keep at it, just be persistent. I'm sure he knows. I mean, he don't need me. And then he got
oh,
you as a workout partner, workout buddy, so you guys can help each other out and push each other, and
oh
that's
yeah,
good.
of course. And he has professional bands that are super heavy, like about 80 pounds, maybe something like that. I'm trying to convert pounds in my mind, but for Ivy, I'm gonna say 50 kilos. He knows kilos. And Marta can also confirm how many is that. Mm. Yeah, the
Um,
the best. Thank you, thank you. You have
And
to read
then
the
you have
comments.
another friend, a Bulgarian friend. What's his name?
Irko.
I forget. He's always bringing up. I think he's the one that came up with the turkey squat or the
Yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah.
what's his name?
Irko, Irinei.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
call
There
him
you go.
Irko.
Him.
Yeah.
He's also on that mission to get his preferred physique as well, because I believe he shared that one time as well with me. So that's good. A lot of these you got a lot of these friends that are actually trying to really be consistent and persistent, and that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we pump each other up. You can say he has to lose a lot of fat to see that muscle because he gained weight too fast, and that actually,
mm.
unfortunately, made his pressure rise. And he's very young, so
Oh,
that's very bad. He has to deal with blood pressure issues now because of gaining
uh-oh.
weight too fast. So yeah, I have to watch out. And Marta says that the toughest band is 140 pounds. So, Diego, you know how much that is now.
Oh, let's see. The toughest band is 140 pounds.
Yeah, I actually had the privilege to, stretch one of those, and it's it's tough. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
strong. It's thick and it's tough. Yeah, it's pretty great resistance, I can say.
Oh man. And one of these guys, I don't know who, I didn't get to read, but one of them, the one that brought up the turmeric pills, who was it?
Ivy.
Avi. Oh, it was Avi. Yeah, that when he brought that up, I'm like, yes, I need to, because I've heard so much good stuff about consuming stuff like that, and you were mentioning even it's like one of the benefits, anti, what is it?
Anti-cancer. Yeah.
So yeah, like anti a lot of stuff, basically, like a lot of the bad stuff, the
Yeah.
pills, or even because I've seen people that even buy the powdered turmeric, basically, like they
Mhm.
go and buy them in the stores. But yeah, that's good stuff. I need to get me some of that, so that's good. Thank you for thank you for bringing that up, Avi. Um,
Yeah, it's good for your joints, Ivy says. Yeah, infections, a lot of so many
uh,
health benefits. It's unbelievable. Immunity, whatever you can think of, pretty much. I mean, a lot of herbs and spices can have similar effects, but turmeric is one of the strongest. So, yeah.
that's good. Yeah, that's definitely some powerful stuff. And then I had, let's see, I'm checking to see if there are any, but all right. And then what's the other question I was gonna, um, oh, right. I asked you once, I'm like, do you drink, or I don't know if you told me or what, tea? You like to drink tea still, right?
Yeah, herb tea.
Herb tea, yeah. Um, Water, tea. Is there anything else that you drink where which you might say, yeah, that's good. Like when you're working out, maybe during your workouts, do you stick with water or do you try and what do you normally like keep yourself hydrated with?
Yeah, that's again a very good question, Diego, because lots of people drink pre-workouts. And again, do not take anything like that, because if you do need to some coffee supplement or anything like that to make you work out, it's just ridiculous. It's more stress on your heart. It's kind of
Mm,
dangerous. Some of those
mm,
pre-workouts have too much caffeine for your body, and some people handle caffeine. I mean, every person, sorry, handles caffeine differently. And
yeah.
I heard some kids in America died from drinking Monster or drinking a
Oh
pre-workout that
yeah.
had 500 grams of caffeine in a dose, which is ridiculously high. So I am so against drinking anything before a workout in terms of a stimulant. You can
Hmm.
drink coffee during the day. I do that usually in the afternoon after I ate, because coffee doesn't do much for my stomach. I mean, it irritates my stomach if I drink it, when I'm fasted. So for me at least, it's not good. And when you work out, I only drink water, and I drink tea usually uh, for prophylactic reasons, because it sustains your immunity. It prevents you from getting sick. I actually tried to get sick like a whole week, several days in a row, but I couldn't because I was drinking tea like crazy. I drank 1 liter of tea, like the whole of this, let's say,
Mm.
in a day. And that's combination of a lot of herbs that we have here in Bulgaria. We have so many herbs, so it's
Hmm.
very awesome. You can get them everywhere. Yeah, so if during workouts in the day, water, 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 that's the most important thing. And here we drink mostly mineral water because we have a lot of mineral springs. We are blessed with that, thankfully.
Ah,
And
good.
also you can drink water that is filtrated with one of those, you know
The
how they
filters.
yeah, the filter things.
Hmm.
uh, we have those here as well, and we have also filters that are filled with minerals. So
Oh,
they all that yeah, not only they clean the water, but they also make it mineral water, basically. uh,
wow.
yeah, it's freaking awesome. And I've heard that a lot of the water in America has preservatives. So you have to let me know
Yeah.
about that. It's crazy to ask here in Bulgaria for water to have anything in it but water. So you have to let me know about that. I'm curious.
No, yeah. Here in yeah, here in America, it's bad. Yeah, the water. Even I was gonna say that you got, in Bulgaria, you guys seem so blessed to have like, the cleaner water, the mineral water. That's so awesome. I remember
Yeah.
I told my sister, the sister I've mentioned to you before. I was mentioning her like, yeah, I have a friend, my Bulgarian friend. She says that they have spring spring water in Bulgaria, and she's like, what? That's so freaking awesome. We were talking about it like can't believe we don't have that here. And but I mean it's America. Everything's constantly changing, and because and the whole money stuff, and it's just a whole complicated thing. But you guys having the mineral water, that's awesome because you said, I believe you told me once that you guys go and get it, right? Like you go and refill your guys's what do you
Yeah,
guys have
yeah.
mainly? Like what
Yeah,
do
we
you
have
normally store it in?
well, we have very big tubes, like plastic bottles, huge 11 liters of
Oh,
that are usually again from mineral water that is sold in stores. But spring water and mineral water, by the way, are two different things. uh,
spring and mineral. Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, spring is just water that comes, you can say, from the ground. It's very
Right.
clean, nice water. Sometimes it has some minerals in it, but it's just low amounts of minerals. And there's some water springs that are, we call mineral waters because they are very high in minerals, like very, very high.
Hmm.
And we have a lot of those. Just they are running all the time. You can go and take with you like 10, 12, or how many you want, bottles, and just fill them all and take them home, like, for free. So a
That's
lot of people
awesome.
are doing that. Only in Sofia we have like two or three springs maybe in the city. The closest one to me is like maybe 10, 15 minutes with the car. And we
Mm-hmm.
usually go during the night, like this time, 10,
Mm-hmm.
11, 12, because there are not really, so many people. There are several places where the water comes out, like sinks, you can say, a
Mm-hmm.
sink here, sink there, and just comes out all
Oh,
the time. It's under
yeah.
pressure, so you just take as much as of those sinks as possible and try to fill more bottles at the same time. Just go. But if there's people, we just wait on each other and all of that. So we're doing that to not pay for the water that we drink. Right now we are too lazy to go, so we bought mineral water. One bottle of 11 liters is like $1.50 in your money. But you have water for at least 4 days if you buy such a huge bottle. It's like
Yeah,
it's really
like
big.
those bigger bottles. You know, I was gonna say even here, here in America, even for example, like the water that comes out of, like even the showers and stuff, there's a recommendation for people here to not to take too long in the shower because of the water that's hitting our skin, and it's not clean. I mean, supposedly it's safe for us to use the water to wash with, but they're filled with all these sort of like
Chemicals.
yeah, and all that stuff. And so and my sister a while back, she was learning about this. She was telling me and the rest of my family and everyone, like, yeah, this is how bad our water the whole water thing situation is here. um and also the food. That's what I was gonna say too. In Bulgaria, you guys mostly like, what is it? What was I gonna? We're talking about last time, like the yogurt and stuff like that, like how it's more fresh, right? Like your guys is,
It's
um,
it's the real thing, actually. Not Greek yogurt. Bulgarian yogurt is the
yeah,
yogurt. That is, we invented yogurt literally. So, yeah,
yeah.
Greeks just took that and called it Greek yogurt. But yeah, yogurt is just how the milk is converted. Regular milk is converted to the yogurt. We call it. I don't know how to translate that. Sour milk or something like
Like
that.
stuff, something like, yeah,
Yes,
like,
we call it sour milk. So it's just a bacteria that makes that happen. And this bacteria is Bulgarian invention. The whole process is a Bulgarian invention. So that's how yogurt was created, and is the only real yogurt is from here. And with that bacteria that creates it and creates the probiotic, um, you can say, qualities to it and everything. Yeah, fruits and vegetables are a lot more real here, especially when there's still people that grow that in their own gardens, and that is transferred to our vegetable markets, so we can buy it from the people that grew all that. And the our whole nature here is very good for that. So I heard a lot of people that went to different countries, like even the Netherlands, for instance. That actually Marta was telling that to me the other day, that he went to the Netherlands, and there all the fruits and vegetables tasted like plastic. And
oh
when he
wow.
returned here and he tried our tomatoes and what his mom has cooked, it was so freaking amazing and delicious. Then it's like you are born again. The difference is so huge that it's unbelievable. Yeah. So that's one thing. Yeah, we have also things that, I mean, the outside world is trying to make us eat the plastic stuff. Also, there's some stores that you can buy something that is like Jimmy, like we call it here. the genetically modified foods, but we try to avoid that at all cost and just buy the most
Good.
natural fruits and vegetables that we can buy still here. So that's
That's
another
good.
thing. Yeah.
Um, yeah, you guys. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The fresh food, with the like the vegetables and the fruits. Like here in America, we people work well. The people that care, but to bother to be careful with it. But the whole thing with like pesticide, like the fruits and stuff being laced with pesticides and all the
Yeah.
like plague repellents basically and all this other stuff. You guys probably, how is it in Bulgaria? You guys probably don't have your own way of right, of farming, cultivating and all that. Like,
Yeah, well, there are some things that you can spray your fruits and vegetables with so they do not get bugs.
yeah.
You know, so some people do that, some people don't do that. It depends.
Hmm.
Uh, it just
Oh, okay.
depends, really. I mean, there are really some people that just grow everything without spraying it with absolutely anything, and they're fine. It just depends on which part of Bulgaria that is. There's different ecosystems of insects and on different parts, so you can
Mm,
have problems if you live in one part of Bulgaria and not have that many problems with pesticides and insects in the other. So it's different, but you can say that from every pesticide and all of that, from what you get, when you buy particular vegetables or fruits, here you're gonna get the least amount. So, like the super very least, the most not toxic that is in existence. So at least that. I mean, whatever we grew here is still is bio-friendly as humanly possible, and if you can get it from a friend, like I still can get some fruits and vegetables from someone that grows them in their garden without anything, spraying
hmm.
them with anything, that's even better. If you can, just you
Yeah,
find the particular place that you shop, and yeah, that's it basically.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's good to know. Let's see. I was reading something from Abby. That sounds great, Getty. Oh, that's to you. I guess you had some.
Yeah, I have to read the comments if you don't mind, just for a sec to
Yeah, no,
catch
go
up.
ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. uh Sadly, don't have too much water, but we do a lot of uh what's that, distillation?
Mm, distill distill
Distillation.
water.
Dis-
Um.
I'm not sure if you spell that correctly or if I'm seeing it correctly. And got a techno hi to you, Willem. He says, I'm working out right now. Gary, are you happy now? Well, I'm just, yeah, I'm happy when more people work out, if that answers your question. Um, Thank you, Ivy, for thinking that I'm motivating. And he says also, that sounds great, Gary. The more you grow yourself, the better. Yeah, if you can do that. Actually, my father, I forgot to say, my father grows tomatoes and some
Oh.
spicy chili peppers on his balcony, and those are
Oh.
pretty great. I've tried them; those are pretty amazing. So, on
Yeah.
the balcony on the seventh floor, he grows that, in a small box. So they are growing, they are tasty. Okay, you can really taste the difference when everything is natural. Yeah, it's like so freaking huge of a difference. There's some sorts of
Hmm.
tomatoes, for instance, that we called like hearts of something they were, I forget. And they're like this big, like this is
Oh
tomato.
wow.
It's
Parts
huge.
of.
Yeah, they're like kind of a heart shaped, and they're kind of pink and red at the same time, and they're so tasty, like so delicious. You can eat them completely on their own. It's
Oh
freaking
wow.
amazing. Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, you have to come
Ah,
here. You have to come here
I
someday, and
know.
you'll see.
I
Yeah.
was about to say that I'm missing out already. I'm so missing out. Yeah, I can't wait. Well, that's actually still, a plan of mine. I definitely have to go out there and visit you and your your country as well, of course, just
Oh
to get
yeah.
to know what it's how it how it is to just be there, walk around, breathe in the fresh air that you guys have, all of that. So yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
so many amazing things to taste here, believe me. And Rosen, one of the Bulgarian viewers, he said, I mean, he reminded me how it was called Bivosko srce, which means buffalo heart. So that is how we are
Oh,
called them.
buffalo heart.
Buffalo hearts, that's the sort of tomatoes, that the bigger ones. And Ivy said, oh, turning salt water to drinkable. We have to do this so we have enough. Oh, that's so terrible, Ivy. Your father is
Oh.
epic. Chilies are my favorites. Yeah, they're also Bulgarian sort of chili pepper. So again, they're
Mhm.
very, very tastely. Tastely. I mean, yeah, one day he said, "My
Tasty.
Diego, my friend Diego."
Are they spicy? Like, are they like really spicy or
Yeah,
not
some of
really?
them are really spicy. You
Yeah.
can't even bite a bit without be like, ah, my mouth is burning. Yeah.
How is it? How are you with spicy food? Are you like can you tolerate it, or like let's say like you're eating food and someone's like here's these delicious chili peppers. Can you like okay yeah I'll enjoy a chili pepper, or would you rather like stay away from like this
Uh,
really spicy stuff?
yeah, I like spicy, but not too spicy. So yeah, I like
Uh,
spicy in general, just not too much because, yeah, it's too much.
that's like me then. Yeah, exactly the just like me. If it's too spicy, I won't mess with it anymore. That happened to me like and I think it starts all the way when I was a little kid. How I bit into some I don't know what pepper it was, but I bit into a pepper that was really spicy and I don't know. Ever since then I hate super spicy like food, I guess, in general. But but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. One day, my friend.
Oh,
Oh,
Marta, is that
yeah.
a friend of yours, by the way, Rosen? Is that a friend of yours? Because you always say like, "Oh, gotten." That is like, "Oh, cool guy," something like that in English. That reminds me of some line
Oh.
from uh, what was that movie again? Ice Age, Ice Age, or something else. Somebody was
Mhm.
calling. I mean, one character was calling another character like, "Hey, you cool guy," or something like that. I don't know if it's that animation, but they're speaking. I'm the second or the third time that I'm noticing how they're speaking in the chat, so that's why I'm asking Marta if they're friends.
Rosen. Ros. Oh, you're talking about Rosen. I see him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's saying Rosen is saying cool guy.
Yeah, Gotin is Gotin, but they're saying it like Goten, which is uh we are
Oh.
lovers. Oh, so they're saying it like in a slang, in Bulgarian slang, you can say, but it means oh, you cool guy, something like that. You cool.
Oh, okay. I see like a slang word or something. Like
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm trying to
cool.
think of a word in English. Like cool dude, cool. I don't know.
Just
Um,
cool. It means just like cool, but for a man. It means cool, but for a man.
I like how you have I like how we're getting a lot of viewers for your channel in this one, right?
Oh,
Well, better, more I think than the last time, right? That's what I'm kind of noticing.
I hope so. I mean, not a lot of people are interested in fitness in terms of my content, but I hope that I can inspire more people to work out because I actually did.
That's good.
I did inspire some people to continue or to start working out. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, Avi said something right here where he says, "Let the let the love flow." I'm just reading that
Yeah,
comment.
yeah, let the love flow. Yeah,
I like that. I think he's referring to basically everyone, right? Everybody showing each other love or whatever. Oh, who's that? Martin Go. Okay, well, who does not want to have boobs? Like, oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? I read some. I think that was Martin's. That's the one you said that likes to joke around, right? With you.
yeah. That's perfectly natural
Okay.
in our communication with him. So I get, yeah, I get it. No problem.
Okay.
Many
Cool.
people
Yeah.
will start working out. Yeah, if that's the way to get boost, but unfortunately it is not. You can just get very good chest muscles that kind of push your boobs, but you still have to have boobs. So yeah.
And then Avi was telling me earlier, I didn't get a reply to him, but he said one day, I guess he was referring to me saying how I want to go visit you in Bulgaria. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. One day, that's the plan for sure. And I know, I've told, I'm telling Getty too, like yeah, Getty, one day I'm definitely gonna go out there and visit you. And she's like, yes, yes, definitely, yeah, come out here, and she'll be the tour guide basically. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
she's the only one and from Bulgaria that I talked to. So yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be my responsibility, don't worry.
But yeah, that'll be fun. I was gonna ask something again regarding uh, how everything is in Bulgaria. Like what was it? The what was it? Um, the beers. I don't know why it came to mind. Just a random question. The beers. You don't drink at all. Is it at all that you don't drink, or do you drink once in a while? As far as like
Oh
alcoholic
yeah.
beverages.
Yeah, alcohol is actually another topic that is very important to touch upon when it's about working out as well. Well, I personally don't like alcohol in general
Hmm.
that much. I don't need it. I don't feel the need to drink it, but I like wine if it's not, not that dry, if it's a bit more sweet.
Hmm.
I like that when it's a lower percentage of alcohol, like below 10% of alcohol. And then when it's not dry, I really like to drink that, but it's not on a regular basis. It's just like once a month. This
Yeah, once a
much, like
month.
tops. I don't crave it really. I don't really need it. So sometimes, like this amount, literally this amount, like 50 milliliters or something, I can drink. And beer, I do not drink beer at all. I just don't like beer. But again, when my cousin went to America on like work or something from school, she told me that she tried Bud Light and other beers, and they were
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. She said that they were like
Yeah. Oh
water
yeah.
with a taste of beer. That's how she compared it, with our beer. So yeah, our beer, it has its own artificial things in it, but it's a lot more natural than whatever you can drink again in America, I suppose. Rosen says rakia, which is a Bulgarian drink similar to, I don't know what to compare it with, maybe whiskey, but a lot kind of different, lighter, and it's transparent like water. It's something that we drink, Russians drink, but I cannot stomach that. It's true. It's a very hard alcohol. It's not for me. I don't like rakia at all. Um, yeah, and sorry, Bulgarian came out again because I'm watching the Bulgarian talk there. So yeah, but drinking and alcohol, I mean, not drinking, gosh, working out and alcohol does not go well together.
No.
I would not
Right.
recommend that. A lot of people that I watch again on YouTube, like Steven Aesthetics, Maran, he's very
Yes.
famous YouTuber. He's a great guy, but he goes out, he parties, he drinks, he still maintains his physique, okay. But I don't see the point of going out and drink yourself to oblivion and feel very bad the next day. And that does affect your gains to a point, and
Hmm.
your
Yeah.
overall work of the body, it gets um, really disturbed, you can say, from inside. So I would not do that. Just why do
Yeah.
that? Just
You
don't
know
do that.
what? I agree with you. And I asked it because I asked you about the whole beer with people that like to work out and stuff like that, because I've also known guys that they like to supposedly exercise, they like to stay fit, and but yeah, they still like to go out every now and then, and they say that they like to drink and stuff like that. And then also because me personally, if I do drink, let's say something, it'll only be honestly, once in a while. Like I'll maybe drink one drink, two, and that's it. I don't really like to go over. Like I'm not the type of guy that likes to just sit there and just start drinking and drinking, or partying and drinking. It's never been me, to be honest. Even though a lot of the times in the past, my friends would try and here, have another one, have it. No, until they finally get the picture. And I remember I just told some people, what was it? I told people just straight out, like, look, I don't drink that
Sorry,
much. I try not
sorry, sorry.
to. And
I'm
I
just
got
I just look at what Marto said and continue. It's very funny.
okay, a very dangerous combination. Yeah.
It's because
Really
what I said. That's why. Because I messed up the wording. Yeah.
okay, like but yeah, see, and I've never that's never been me though. Like like drinking. Like I said, I'll enjoy a drink. Like I guess casual is what I can just casually drink here and there.
Yeah. That's
But
okay with
I yeah, but I try and stay away from it as much as possible. Not completely because I do like I said I will here and there one drink, two drinks, but that's not when not when I'm working out, of course. That's mostly if I'm just hanging out with like friends, family, whatever, that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's pretty
Uh,
normal. And that's not every day even. That's like 1, 2 times, 3 times a month. How many times?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
And
pretty
that's me.
normal. I mean, it's again something that your body can handle, so it's not really a problem. And something that I have to read. By the way, Diego, which state and city are you
Oh,
from?
I see it. Yeah, Martin. I'm I live in California. I have been living in California for most of my life actually. Although I've lived in different states, but and I live in the city I live in, it's called Bakersfield. Bakersfield, California. Me and Goten Rosen want to visit.
That's why I'm
Goten
laughing.
Rosen. Goten Rosen is Goten
Kurosen.
Rosen.
Kurosen, he means.
Oh hell yeah! Anybody can
Oh.
come and visit. Sure, anybody as well.
I
That's what
mean,
he's
he's being
referring to, right?
funny. Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's being funny again, and
he's being fun.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I know,
Mm.
no, but still, like that. Just for the record, anybody. What's this? Oh yeah, he's Rosen. Rosen's laughing. Great man, Bakersfield. That was close enough. A lot of people butcher the name like way worse than that. Yeah,
Bakers.
Bakersfield. It's
It's
okay here.
city of
You
bakers.
got the cities like Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a big city. A lot of people, a lot of tourists go there.
Yeah,
What's
we
the other
know
one?
that. We just don't know some of the smaller towns, but
Yeah,
we everything else we do know. Yeah.
like yeah, like Los Angeles and what's the San Diego and all those.
Yeah.
What's the San Francisco? That's another common one.
Hmm.
I want to go there again, by the way. San Francisco is really nice. Um, but yeah, he's like, yeah, we want to come visit, and I'm like, yeah, come visit. Anybody's welcome. No, but I know.
Yeah. We're gonna we're gonna combine our muscle power and come together.
Yeah, heck yeah. How are you guys?
Yeah.
You guys come in what's in a train or something like that? That'd be cool. Who knows? They might come and have some post workout beers together. That's what Avi said.
Look at what Marta wrote.
Why is your house so is the house the white one or the green one?
It's
It's
gonna.
the blue one.
It's like only 3 houses. There's only 3 houses there. He's gonna kill me. Stop, Marto. Stop. I'm gonna fall from the chair. So funny. I became red. Like my whole face is red for some reason now from laughing.
How long have you guys known each other? All of you guys, like your Bulgarian friends and you.
Well, I meet new people like on a regular basis, but with him particularly, we know each other for like, let me see now, it's March, so maybe from December or November, something like that. He saw me on a gaming stream, Bulgarian gaming stream on Next TV. That's like gaming media in Bulgaria.
Mhm.
So he saw me there, and since that time he's watching me on my own channels as well, and that's how we met. Then he proposed to gather some people and go and see Star Wars, the Last Jedi, like with more people, so it can be fun. But I was like, nah, I don't wanna like make a convention out of that. I just want to go, with fewer people
Right.
so I can enjoy the movie and not be so focused about how I'm presenting myself to more people, and that should make me a bit nervous and so on. So I just was like, well, I'm not sure who's gonna come even, but okay, you can come, and we're
Mhm.
gonna come and go and see the movie. So that's how we met live, and he lives very close to me. So
Oh,
yeah, from there we kind of hit it off and started, talking more. And I got a real life friend that I can talk to in person as well. And
right.
then we got to the workout stuff, and we decided to make the pictures, and everything just sort of happened like that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yes, I am stalking the girl, and she still does not get the picture. uh, it's the funniest.
What's that? What is that? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Wait, what? Yes, I am stuck in the girl, and she still does not get the picture. I don't
Uh,
know.
believe me, he does not speak like that in real life. But he started with such funny things when I was
Yeah.
streaming in the game, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Like I'm so like, "Oh, what the heck?" So many funny, kind of horny things. But then, when we got to know each other, I got everything, and I actually have similar dirty humor, and just don't use it. You know.
You should use it more often. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Do you not like to include it in your like your channels or what?
Well, what to tell you? I mean, I have that, but it's not like. I mean, I keep it more personal. I don't like
Oh,
to use it like how he does it so
yeah. Like
openly.
so open.
Yeah, it's just his way of funny communication. That it comes very natural to him, and I have the ability to understand it because I also have it in me, but I don't have this way of expressing it the same way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's a girl thing because he's a guy and I'm a girl, and I don't know. I'm just not used to that. I'm very
Yeah.
uh,
More
you can
private, right?
yeah,
A
and
little bit.
always trying to be polite, always trying to not irritate people, always try to
Yeah.
speak my mind exactly what I think, so I don't mislead somebody. And my brother, for instance, he's very jokey type, so he always try to deceive me with something and make a joke about something else, so I can be like, what? And then he's like, I'm kidding, and I'm like, oh, like stop it, like. I really hate that. So I'm trying to be the opposite of that. I always try to be the opposite so I don't irritate people or mislead them to think something else is going on. But gladly, I really get what he's want to say.
Uh,
Get shredded like you, Luke Yang from Mortal Kombat. Yes, yes, we will. Mm, those specs, though,
turning
they
the
cut.
front.
Luke Yang's Luke Yang's voice, though. Still, they're gonna try to. I mean, they're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat now, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Um, I was gonna say as far as my as far as my questions go, just to let you know, I think I asked you all the questions I needed to ask you. I don't know if any of these guys want to ask anything themselves or any other questions, but that was for me. That was awesome. That was good. Just to get that out of the way. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I can help with everything that I can, and we should end this pretty soon, anyways, because it's 10:30 almost.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that too because I don't want to take any more of your time because it's all, yeah, I notice it's getting late for you as well, and I know you have to do other stuff in your workouts and so
Yeah, let me think about something that I missed. And okay, Marto has a question. I suppose that it's gonna be funny, so I'm gonna mentally prepare myself. Okay, I'm waiting for the question. What can it be? uh we have to play elevator music. Dun, dun, dee,
what's that?
dee, dee.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, wondering if I should watch Batman and Robin. or or what?
Let's see what Ryan's private. Oh wait, Ryan's private. Private
Who?
Ryan, is that a reference joke to Private Ryan or what? Saving
Yeah,
Private Ryan? I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. You
probably.
guys, I'll stay out of. You guys are the ones that get each other's. It's probably gonna be weird for me to try and understand what you guys are joking about. Hello.
Yeah, it's
Oh
kind of shaming Ryan's privates. Yeah, because now it's saving Private Ryan, it's the movie, so it's probably
yeah,
related to that. I never watched
that's
that, so
that's what I was one thinking of. Um,
just do whatever you feel like it.
um, what was I gonna say? Talking about before I forget, the coffee. That's what slipped my mind. The whole thing about the talk about coffee. That's one thing I definitely stay away from. Like me personally, I don't like coffee. Uh, I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I don't know. I've never. I remember coffee makes my hands even like shake. Like
Oh, you're
yeah, they
very
get shaky. So
sensitive to
I
caffeine.
stay away.
Caffeine.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because of the caffeine. So I stay away from that stuff.
Well, that means that you're very responsive to that. Every person, again, like I said, is different. And another thing, again, is that in America you make coffee mostly not espresso, but just the coffee that we call Schwarz here, which is basically the coffee, and through the coffee hot water just pours in, and whatever it comes out, that's the coffee. But the
Mhm.
espresso is under pressure, like 15 bars of pressure, and that actually extracts the coffee. I also explained that before. That's the real way of drinking coffee. That's a lot better.
Yeah.
So but in any case, if you're that sensitive to caffeine, that's not good. If you're trembling from it, that's not good. So yeah, avoid that. For your body, particularly, it's probably not. It's not gonna be, very good for your heart and all of that. So just don't do
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from that stuff. I was like, what the heck? Am I like? I felt like an old man. Like, with not even old people. There's old people that don't even shake. Like, so yeah, I stay away from that stuff now. Um,
Yeah, it's everybody's different. I like for some reason my father can drink coffee like at midnight and he's perfectly fine. He sleeps like a rock.
wow,
Like
really?
yeah, he's totally not sensitive to caffeine anymore, like totally, which is absolutely normal. And but me, coffee always affects me, so I'm drinking mostly one coffee a
Yeah.
day, which is this much, and it's always espresso. So yeah, I try to not go overboard with that because if I drink another coffee, it's irritating my stomach also. But if I drink only one coffee, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Same with me. Um,
Sequel to Kill Bill? What? Kill Bill? Oh,
Feel, Feel
that
Bill.
that's not that's
That's
not a
nice.
movie.
Let me
That's
see.
not a movie.
Feel Bill. Avi, yeah, Feel Bill.
Oh god.
But
Kill
yeah.
Bill, what the heck?
Oh, Avi too. Okay, so Avi doesn't mess with coffee.
Oh, one cup of
Yeah.
coffee a day. Oh, well, he's like me probably, yeah. Well, coffee is very healthy. I mean, for people that can handle it, but again, in
Yeah.
small amounts. In higher amounts, it can kill you, and water also can kill you. I mean, a lot of things can kill you. That doesn't mean that they're bad for you, but
Right.
uh, in it's a drug. I mean, coffee, it's a drug, so you have to be careful with it. And I think that's it. If you don't have any questions, gotta go.
Yeah, no, that's it for me. That's it on my end. Yeah, go ahead and yeah, I don't want to hold you back because you got a lot of stuff to do. It's late for you, early for me, but late for you. So
Yeah, super
yeah,
early for you.
yeah, it's barely well, it's 12:37 p.m. here.
Wow,
So
so awesome. I
yeah,
wish I could turn back time so
you
you
wish.
can be.
Yeah, I wish that too, but yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I have to go
But
to work after I wake up in like 10 hours from now. Damn it.
so right now are you gonna jump on your workout after this, or what do you have going on for tonight?
Yeah, well, I'm going to do rack pulls probably, and
Yeah,
the rings and and push-ups, shrugs, yeah, pull-ups. Pretty much the whole thing. I'm thinking that I will do now. There.
awesome, awesome, man.
Well, thank you very much, Diego, for this awesome hangout. I hope
Thank
that
you.
we were useful to a lot of you guys. Marta was saying something about channel 8 that we don't have here anyways, so I have no idea what he's referring to. I'm gonna ask him after the hangout, probably. I don't know. So I can make some sense of all of that. And yeah, thank you again. And we should do this, about movies next time,
Oh
definitely.
yes, definitely. Yeah, we can, do different random things like movies, shows, whatever, everything. It's always a pleasure. This was fun. This was fun. It was interesting to read the guys' comments as well. So, I didn't do that the last time, I don't think. Yeah, no, the last time I didn't even check through the comments. This time I did, so it made it all
Yeah.
the more interesting.
Oh yeah, communication with the audience is most important, and
Yeah,
we make a better stream this way. And
right.
Diego says, not Diego, sorry, Diego. Ivy says, "Have a great day, Diego, and great evening, Gary, and to everyone else, of course, and a great workout, Gary. Thanks for the rare,
Oh,
legendary stream. Wow, Ivy with his amazing way of putting
oh
things,
yeah.
and he's just a poet, a
Yeah,
great
he is.
writer, a bard even.
Or
Ciao,
yeah.
Gotin. Goten. Ciao.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah, man, it was good
Uh,
seeing you here. I mean that out of all the guys, Abby is really the one I know the most. I don't really know any of the other guys, like your friends, but it was good to, thank you guys for joining in as well. Abby, yeah, all of you guys.
well, if you watch, one of my, when you watch me on Twitch, when I game, you can see Marto under the Wizzo Baboon name. So he's Wizzo Baboon.
Oh, oh, I think yeah, all right. I've seen, yeah,
You see
because I
him,
know you
yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Um,
Ivy's also warned uh, about that, in case Marta says something really funny. Don't expose. I'm not exposing. I'm just saying, if Diego meets you, because he probably will, and
don't
I'm
expose me.
streaming. Just kidding.
Uh,
Yeah, on Twitch, you will guys at least know each other because you're my closest guys. Of course, along with Dirko as well. So
with Irko, yeah, that's
yeah,
another
it's
one.
nice if you can know each other, especially when he knows English as well, and not everybody knows English. Irko
Right.
knows enough. So yeah. Ah, that's your
Well,
stalker nickname. Okay, I won't tell to myself.
no, that's cool. These are cool guys. What I notice is normally your crowd here, the ones that follow you, it's a cool crowd, So yeah, these are cool guys here. Um, Sometimes you get a bunch of every random person, and you get your haters also joining in streams, but this isn't the case, so that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
those are the most dedicated people here in terms of knowledge and working out.
yes.
Yeah. So again, it's 10:32.
Mm-hmm.
So again, guys, thank you very much for watching this first whatever and fitness stream here on my main channel. And of course, this is my buddy Diego. You can see him also in the comments a lot of times because he's awesome. And we can do this
Thank you.
next time about any movie. Of course, there's a lot of things coming. So whenever he is possible, and whenever he is possible, okay, whenever you are able, we can do this, and it's going to be very fun. Yeah, much appreciated from me too, Marto. And that's it, guys. Thank you. And till next time with me, Gary G reviews, and kisses to everybody in the chat.